Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Finally, people, and I'm not want to sit here and sound spoiled like the lassie for Willy Wonka here, but these weeks now, without a European adventure slapped right in the middle of them, are feeling long, people. I'm feeling deprived of European and Rangers content all week long as we have to sit and wait now to the weekend for some games post-Christmas, and it's boring a little bit, people. I'm spinning out of control, but thankfully we are here to talk about a game of football that actually was worth the wait as we went to one of the most difficult places to go on the old SPFL calendar, the Tony Macaroni on that surface, and I'm not getting into it, people, against one of the most difficult teams to actually break down, which is of course Livingston, who at the time of kickoff were sitting fourth in the old SPFL. It was all a potential banana skin, if you want, a game that can easily be slipped up, especially after a long week of waiting. But thankfully, people, this Rangers team turned up, got the 3 points, got 3 goals, and kept that back door shut. Now, if you watch these recaps a lot, this is usually the part of the video I start talking about how good Malik Tillman was. Do a wee line here verbally, of course, and discuss how great this player is. But regarding this video, I'm actually going to sit here and talk about Malik Tillman and the fact he wasn't in the game, as unfortunately had a bit of an issue with his calf/hamstring. So anyone with an eye on what's coming up next weekend, spinning out and wondering where Malik Tillman was, he was rested out from this game because of those issues. The same with Ryan Jack and John Lundstrom, who we spoke about in yesterday's preview video. No in a plastic part, they're just no getting played there. It was pretty obvious going in. So there's your update regarding Malik Tillman. Cross everything, people. Cross word, cross your legs, cross whatever you can, people, that Malik Tillman will be back playing football the weekend. But I guess the best thing you can say about this Rangers side today, and probably for your eardrums, people, is I'm not going to spend the majority speaking of a Malik Tillman, because there was other people fighting for the opportunity, fighting for the chance to be the guy and be the driving force in this Rangers side. And for me, 2 of them really stepped up this afternoon. One of them, Nicholas Raskin, who we spoke so heavily about. We wanted them so badly to come to this football club, and this boy's just strolling about here looking like Barry Ferguson. People, that's right, I said it. He's just looking like it. He's bossing everything, he's winning in, he's got that wee bit of swagger and arrogance that I think that the really good players actually need. And the only thing he never stopped in that entire game, if you go on that way, people, was the referee's whistle for half-time and full-time. The boy was everywhere, so special shout to him, along with Todd Cantwell. It was the 2 of them, people. It was the dirty double. It was the January signings that if you take his shirt number and his shirt number and you slap them together, you get 56, and it's no wonder that omen is around, people, with just how well they 2 played. As for me, Todd Cantwell had his best overall game on, again, a tricky surface. He's probably never seen a plastic part before in his life, but he went out and showed what he can do now that he's getting more minutes under his belt, because he just controlled and pulled the strings and really picked up the creativity, slackness that could have fell in to this Rangers side with Malik Tillman not being there. Cantwell went, right, I'm here, let me be the guy. And for me, it's genuinely a coin toss which one of them gets a man of the match. I'd love it if you are watching today's video just to put one of their names down in the comments, because I imagine if you scroll down you'll see a very mixed bag, which is a great thing for this football club. But let's go ahead and dive right into the game, because you're going to hear a lot of those 2. Again, the Tony Macaroni is always a difficult place to go, and I think you could see that within the first 5-10 minutes of the game. Things bouncing all over the place, people slitting up and down the shop. You're thinking, oh no, here we go. Especially with the fact that Livingston, as soon as the whistle went like this, 50-20 yards in and around their box. But we did, believe it or not, get an early goal, which is something we've all hoped and prayed for many times. Not only at the Tony Macaroni, but for the season. It probably could have saved this grey noggin, people. But when you see it back, it is a very nice move. Morelos does well. I think it was his first time touching the football about 12 minutes into the game, if I'm honest with you. But gets down to the left, plays a beautiful ball, and Sakala is away. He has scored a great goal. He's celebrating, and when I see a player celebrating, I think, oh, he knows he's onside then. Like, there's nothing to worry about. So I start celebrating. Then the flag goes up, but I'm like, he's no celebrating that hard. Like, he's no literally ramping the crowd up if he's clearly offside. And then I seen the replay. Sakala is 76 yards offside. He was closer to Govan than he was onside, people, and that's painful to actually see. And I just sit back and I look at it. Of course, it was ruled off by VAR, but I just sit there and I look, people. Can you imagine where we would be and how many goals Sakala could score and add to this team? if he knew what the offside rule was. See, we get the pictures during the week and that with the Rangers admin, with the players and that out in training, and they're doing like poses, and I don't know what this is, people, but apparently this is a pose these days. But I would love if we could maybe get Sahan, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll give you the more off again. Sunday, Monday, give you a couple of days off, but maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, just have a picture out there on social media of Morelos sitting here, Sakala sitting here, and both of them just looking at the screen and being told what the offside trap is. Please, people. I can't handle it anymore. But moving away from the fact that Sakala was 876 yards offside, we of course continue to dominate the ball, create chances, have a couple shots as well, which again I didn't mind, especially from Tavernier. He's got it in his locker. First one over the bar, not the greatest effort, but the second one forces George into a very good save as it's coming through a kind of traffic of bodies, but gets down and holds it. And I'm like, right, people, this is it. It's no slow, it's no passive, it's no side to side. We're pushing forward, we're trying to play snappy passes, we're just maybe not getting the break of the ball just yet. We just need Sahan to maybe flow in our way after an unlucky opening 20 minutes. And then the 25th, 26th minute, around about that clock marker, Carol Vordwin, we of course had the moment that will be discussed, the penalty kick to Rangers, if you want, people. And it was great play down the left hand side. Cantwell's involved in it, Kent's involved with it. I believe it's Barisic that ends up whipping the ball in as well, and Alfredo Morelos is at the back post. Now, I don't actually think he's going to get here, by the way, because it's actually very well defended by the centre back that's in front of him. Just gets up, big boy header, gets rid of it, good defending. But then you see Penrice at the back post literally ripping the shot, trying to swap the shots with Morelos inside the box. It's brainless, people. It's just mental. It's a mad moment in football. He probably thinks Morelos is getting above his centre half, so he's just trying to yank the boy down. But at the point where Morelos is up and he's sitting here like that, it looks like he's trying to fly a Morelos kite. People, quite clearly a penalty kick, and you could tell by Morelos' reaction. Yes, I know he's quite reactionary anyway, but you could really tell if he knew that was a penalty kick by just how much he was telling everybody under the sun to go ahead and look at the old monitor. And I don't know why it took so long, people. Again, I'm not want to sit here and moan all the time, but we can see it, people, right? We see it in 30 seconds. Why does it take 6 minutes to decide if that's a penalty kick? People, it's brainless, but again, that's who's in charge and officiating our game. Let's just be sitting there playing solitaire, just like, who's involved in it? Morelos. I just send them off. It was probably done something anyway. Nah, they take 6 minutes of deliberation and eventually give the penalty kick, and upsets Tavernier, who of course missed one at the weekend as he tried to go down the middle, but this one was more of a Tavernier penalty. Step, boom, in the corner. The Rangers are on their way to hopefully a 3-pointer. If you're a Livingston fan or you were cheering on Livingston, you've got to be questioning Penrice there, but aye, Penrice, no, Pen Rangers, people, eh? Hey, come on, lift it, boys. Anyway, Livingston should have equalised 3 minutes after. People, let's bring the mood back. Doing they get a long throw? Barisic caught in no man's land. I don't think he's marking anybody back there, and he ends up leaving somebody behind him who's got a tap in. I believe it is actually Penrice. Believe it or not, he was just involved in everything in opening 45 minutes, but he ends up missing an absolute sitter, as I think he swings and misses at the old ball, and we well and truly get away with that. And spoiler alert for the rest of the video, by the way, that's as close as Livingston came. Again, it's a gimme. Again, it's a sitter, but they missed it. And then we continue to do our thing. Now, in the fairness of everyone's weekend, I'm not going to sit here and break down every nearly or maybe in the opening 45 minutes. What I will talk about is the skill and ability of a Todd Cantwell, because he was shining, and every time it maybe didn't flow Rangers' way, there was one man in the middle of the park that was just everywhere intercepting. It was like watching the other end of Pong, people. He was just there bouncing everything back, and that was Raskin. Again, the 2 January signings in the opening 45 minutes just controlled every aspect. Cantwell, everything going forward, and Raskin stole everything for going that way. So shout out to both of them, especially some of the skill moves that Cantwell done, and even one where he tried a kind of roulette, he ended up giving the ball away after it. But what I loved is his industry side of the game. He sprints all the way back, shoves big nobles out the way, and gets the ball and takes us back forward as well, showing he's got a wee bit more to his game, which again we spoke about when we were potentially signing the laddie. And then he shows his creative quality with a phenomenal through ball just before halftime. It's absolutely wonderful. Almost never looks on. You didn't even register it, people, but that shows you the intelligence of the footballer. And he drops it right on the dime. Ryan Kent gets absolutely nailed as he fakes to hit the shot. There's a sort of Ryan Kent sort of shimmy if you will. Cuts in, gets nailed, everyone hanks, it's a penalty kick, but the offside flag goes. But of course with now VAR, they go ahead and look at it, and after again another 3 or 4 minutes they decide, the referee puts his hand up, signalling of course offside. I don't know why the Rangers commentators didn't pick up on that fact and spent the majority of not only the rest of the half but half time and then gone into the second half saying that Ryan Kent should have had a penalty. It's offside, mate. He's offside. That's why they've done the offside. You can't get a penalty if there's been an offside in the build-up. So yeah, that explains what happened with Ryan Kent. The problem clue in that, people, was the fact that Livingston took a free kick from outside the box where the offside was. But offside or not, people, it was a great move to mention because it not only shows you Cantwell's fantastic ability with the football to turn a nothing ball into a through ball in behind the defence, but it shows the building relationship between the two of them as Kent, as soon as the ball's gone to Cantwell, spins and tries to get in behind. He's just a little bit too early with his actual run, and that was it for half-time. Again, no line that go past Raskin was that half-time whistle. So we go in there 1-0. Again, Livingston are still in the game. They're probably happy at the fact it's there, but there were some good moves. But George, again, in goals for Livingston, shows he's quite good with his hands. A couple of nice wee saves here, and Sakala running offside a couple of times, irritatingly enough. But we come out in the second half looking to make a point, and for me, you could see it was more of a 4-4-2 almost. Or what I really think it is, people, is a 4-2-4. If you actually look at it, with Sakala a lot closer to Morelos, Cantwell and Kent just told to go and just be wherever they want to be to create. That's what it looked like in the second half, and it instantly started to bring more success and more clear-cut chances, especially for Sakala, who just 3 minutes into the restart was sent in after Cantwell hits a beautiful sort of switch of play that puts him in behind on the right-hand side. Sakala does brilliantly to beat his man after a guy tries to close him down, hits a good shot, it's well saved by George, and unfortunately the set piece was quite poorly delivered in for the skipper at that point, so we couldn't really put them under pressure there, but you could feel it starting to build. Now, from about the restart to about the 55th minute, I was thinking, oh my god, we're going to hit this a cricket score. And then the game just sort of died down. I don't know if many people will agree with this. Between about the 56th to about the 65th minute, it started to become a bit of a drag as the game just started to slow down. Livingston were doing all their tactics, they were doing the wee kicks and everything. Omienga ends up getting a wee booking and everything like that, and they're starting to sucker the game down and try and kill all the creativity. But then, from a back heel from Todd Cantwell into Raskin, who's continuing his run, gives it to Tavernier. Tavernier with a phenomenal through ball to Ryan Kent. He's galloping, people. He's looking like Seabiscuit running through. There's nobody near him. Then he takes a touch that can only be summarised in one way. Someone must have squished Flubber on his football bits, because he just hits about 50 yards in front of him, people. And to be fair, he still gets to the ball, but that gives George enough space to come out in the 1v1. Kent tries to hit the shot, but it ends up being a good save from George. I just think that touch absolutely killed him. Now again, to be fair to him, it could be maybe surface related or anything like that, because again it does bounce up pretty half on that surface. But Kent should probably do a hell of a lot. In fact, he should do a hell of a lot better than it really should be 2-1, because he was completely on his own. But that moment was not only an opportunity to put it to 2-0, but it also was the opportunity to bring Kamal Roofe in for Sakala, who again tried his best, was involved in a couple nice things, but he'll be frustrated, especially at the fact he was so widely offside. I mean, it's not even close to being offside. I don't get how you're so far offside as a football player and didn't realise you're actually offside as a footballer. But in comes Kamal Roofe, and again, no disrespect, you all know I like Sakala, I like his industry side of the game, I like what he brings, his energy and his drive, and he's been important for us, but there is a difference in quality overall in terms of the ball movement and ability to beat defenders, because with Kamal Roofe's very first touch, he was on the park less than 30 seconds, he spun his defender, fate to go back round that way. Cantwell's hit a ball again beautifully in behind Roofe, ends up running, it is a little bit to the right, but it's one touch, it's a great strike, it looks like it's gone into the bottom corner, but it's the fingertip of fingertips from the goalie to roll it just wide. It's phenomenal, it's an unbelievable save, it's something he's got to be proud of, and of course the referee and linesman gave a goal kick. But in my opinion, they really couldn't handle Kamal Roofe's movement and ability to just drift in and out of space, and he continued to be a thorn in the side, getting moved all over the place. And in the 76th minute ends up happening as he gets on the end of a long ball. I think it's from Raskin, this one, I might be wrong in this one, but ends up running. He knows what he's doing here, he's just a clever player. I know he's frustrated us with injuries and disappointments, but he has a wee look up, he sees Omienga coming and he just steps in front of him to get the contact. Is there a low? No, but is Kamal Roofe running into the box and and if that touch doesn't happen, is he getting in the box? Aye. So it ends up being a second yellow card. It's just clever centre forward plays. How do we look up, knows he's coming, puts himself in the position that the defender, when he touches him, he's going to end up going down, and that ends up giving a free kick at the edge of the box. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really feeling it in here at all, people. I was sitting back saying, well, at least they're down to 10 men now, we should put them to the sword. And then the skip dog steps up with a phenomenal strike. I'm talking about postage stamp up here. People, the goalie can't get anywhere near it. You cannot put a free kick any better. It was incredible. Now he's sitting with his second goal of the game, putting him to over 10 goals for the season. And in my opinion, he never really had the greatest game overall. I thought he was quite sloppy with some of his passes and his crosses. But you look at it, he got 2 goals in the game, and he should have had an assist after putting Kent through on goal. So aye, even the skipper's bad days are better than a lot of players' good days, if you know what I mean. Phenomenal goal, and it well and truly wrapped the game up. Off stealing a line from David Martindale himself earlier in the season, Tav does what Tav does. Now you're late in the game, people. Livingston have obviously made attacking subs. They're obviously trying to get back into the game, and Rangers just sort of picked them off. Barisic whips in a wonderful free kick late into the game. It actually gets to Kamaru. I think Kamaru, Davies and Cholak are all there, and it actually just overloads the Livingston box. And Roofe gets there, it ends up hitting off the defender. Davies hits a strike. It's a great save by George, but who reacts the quickest? Kamaru, as he smashes it into the back of net, showing well and truly he is still the kill streak of this football club. You didn't see him often, people, but when he comes in, he's a game changer. And once again, it's another game that he has successfully changed for Rangers and picked up maybe a draw or a nervy time and turned it to all 3 points. His goal to game ratio is just a disgrace. People will never see anything like it again. But aye, that was it. And I know we had a couple of wee other moments. I thought Cholak went on a very good run as he ran down the right hand side, skipped by a couple of players, put it in the box, but Scott Wright's kind of flat footed and he's not reacting quick enough to maybe potentially get himself a tap in. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very comfortable 3-0 win for Rangers. But what I liked about this is it wasn't as slow. Again, there was about a 5-10 minute period where it did come to a crawl, but I thought the players like the Cantwells, the Raskins, really continued to add in a lot of injection, getting the ball forward. For me, probably the best way I can say this is you could tell they were new players because they're no bogged down for what used to happen. Every time it went to them, they never went back the way, they never went sideways. It was forward, it was forward, it was forward, and that's what's been badly needed in this team for a long time. I also thought Barisic had a pretty good game as well, whipped in a couple of lovely crosses. If Morelos is a bit sharper and everything like that, he could be getting a couple goals. So we shout out to Barisic as well, who continues his step up in performances over the last couple of weeks now, pretty much since he's came back for the World Cup. And that well and truly is it, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy with the game, very happy with the performance. Now all eyes turn to the cup final as Michael Beale now has some serious questions and serious decisions to make, because a lot of the players, especially the Cantwells and the Raskins, put themselves probably first on the list of players that gets selected. And I also, before we wrap up, by the way, a wee special shout out to Ben Davies and Connor Goldson. Again, just incredible. Davies a couple times, man, he's never said a word, but he's never missed a tackle, and I just love their partnership together. And something clicked to me when I was watching it, and everything, especially in this game, is you hear Goldson talk all the time, and I think if you look at Goldson's best time at this football club with partners, it's with defenders that's maybe on the quieter side, the Ben Davises, the Hollanders, because it allows Goldson to do all the talking and they sort of do their job with that, and it's a sort of perfect mesh of a partnership. So look out for that. You never see the laddie shouting, because him and Goldson are in a perfectly sync. The goal with Goldie, he's the vocal leader, and that boy there doesn't make any mistakes. So aye, looking forward to next week, looking forward to seeing your comments, and as always, I've been Sage over 92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye bye.